Hello and welcome to the unboxing of set 76167 Iron Man Armoury. The Iron Man Armoury fits perfectly with the previously, as you can see in the background actually, previously released Hall of Armour and is essentially just a little add-on to that. I got it at one stage just so I could get the AAT with free shipping off Lego website, so I got this as well, and I had that, so I thought I might as well, add on. Plus, a little selling point for me was not only the car, but the wings on Iron Man here. I just think that's fantastic looking. Not a great minifigure selection because they took away the good helmet from Iron Man and put a bad helmet on it, and only gave us 2 Iron Mans for a Hall of Armoury. Like, you can say that, yeah, they gave us AIM agents and they gave us a Tony Stark with plain clothing, which is pretty cool, but I don't know, it's just a bit, seems like a bit of a downgrade. Even though I suppose maybe not a downgrade because it is a smaller set and that's what it's supposed to be, but I don't know. Just a little look at the back of the box now. You can see the Armoury laid out a little bit more clearly for you. Getting into things, we can see a hamburger here, and I think it's on top of Tony's Toys. A little box there, and there's also a key card, I think, which is to the right of it on top of the box, which is pretty interesting. You can see his jetpack hanging off the side of the Armoury wall there, which is pretty cool. You can see that it comes with the 2 Iron Man figures. Again, I think it's a little bit of a downgrade, but only looking at the box for now, I'm fairly sure that the mask doesn't actually open up the way the older ones do, which is, it's sacrificing, for some reason, a good feature. We see Tony Stark in plain clothing here with a nice hot cup of tea or coffee or whatever he does be drinking at that time, and the remote seems like the remote for the Armoury in his hand as well. We can see that there's a little stud shooter on the bottom here, and you can actually use it. It says to use it like properly, but I think it kind of looks better face backwards here as an exhaust or something. We can see that it has a spanner here with him and a fire extinguisher, and for some reason we have his sandwich up on the TV screen there, which is it's very Lego of Lego to do that. And then you can see that there is a microfigure of Iron Man also included in what seems to be kind of where he maybe makes and designs his suits, or goes into them on the computer, but holographic computer. That's what it seems like. And also there you can see that there's little clips down the bottom there and there, and on the sides here there's also some clips. So it does add on to the previously released Hall of Armour, which is pretty interesting. I might get another one of these for some spare pieces from this thing, and then build up these and maybe sell the figures. I don't know if they'll be worth selling. It's kind of like an expansion pack really for the Hall of Armour, which seems to be a good idea. And from the back of the box to the unbox, let's see what we got here. So far it looks like interesting pieces already. We've got we've got 2 bags by the looks of things. Yeah, just 2 bags. This will be a short video, methinks. Stickers. I kind of like the stickers on it though. They're all see-through apart from the hot rod flames there, which is pretty interesting. I'll get you a look at some of them now close up. It shows some of the older kind of suits, I think, doesn't it? Or is it the same suit? It is different suits, definitely. But yeah, interesting sticker sheet, to be honest. I still would prefer printed pieces, but we'll not get into it. And 1 instruction book. Thank God that we're not going to add 2 instruction books up for this thing. It looks like the hot rod might be in bag 1 and then the Hall in bag 2. I'd say in bag 1 you have the AIM agents and Tony Stark as plain clothing, which is pretty great. And maybe some, I think you see it. I think I see it too. There he is, the micro figure. Cool, so we can get on to opening bag 1 and show you what's inside. It's going to be a very short video by the looks of things, guys. So, bag number 1 doesn't hold anything too crazy. Maybe the most interesting part out of it all would probably be this, but only really in comparison to the rest of the parts. Like, we've seen kind of that before, and I think I'm not a fan of that part because it's like a cheap part. Like, it does kind of, it works in its own way for certain things, but I think it's a little bit of a cheap part. So whenever you're making a car, this is kind of the base of it, and you kind of, it's a wee cheat code. And the big side, there's not much. There's a few tires and stuff, and yeah, there's not really anything too crazy here. You can see Tony Stark's face there, which is interesting. But for the most part, there's nothing too wild here. Of course, the minifig parts are always unique. This part here is a nice colour. Haven't usually seen it in that colour before. Nothing too wild on that side. But in the small side, you can see nothing too wild as well. But I will just mention that this part I've seen in Vader's castle, and it was in the Bacta tank Vader, and I think it was on one of the Luke Skywalkers as well, which is pretty interesting to see. It's in kind of gunmetal, kind of chrome dark grey, which is interesting to me, and in the same colour is the Anakin Skywalker pod racer helmet, and also the one from Naboo. Very sick of seeing that helmet, but lovely to see it in a new colour. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. You can see those little green parts there. They look like flowers, and to be honest, I don't think they're going to be used as flowers in this build particularly. That's it for the parts in number 1. Now let's get to the build. So, I was right. At the end of bag 1, we're left with the car and another little mini build, and I think the next bag is going to be the Armoury. We're left with 2 of these guys, and I have to say, I wasn't really like too pushed on the figures until I actually seen them, and I was like, yeah, the torsos are really nice, but it's the helmet. The helmet just lets them down so much. That reused helmet it just doesn't look great on them. To be honest, I'll probably be leaving mine with the helmets off altogether, because they look better. I don't actually know what the AIM agents look like. I can't remember them, whether they're in the movie or not. And I hate how they put this stud on the gun. They always just change this gun, whether it's putting something on it or, adding it in the middle of some kind of build, but they don't just leave it as a gun. It's a really cool gun. It's really cool. Like, it's like space futuristic and stuff, But anyway, and I figured out that the green flowers are kind of flowers because they're kind of acting like lettuce in the burger there, or in the sandwich, or whatever you want to call it. And I've made Tony's toy box, so that's pretty fun. Nothing too taxing on the build. It's a fun little build, but yeah. Here's a look at the car as well. It was nice and easy to build. I was building it kind of half watching TV. This thing is cool though. It uses the axles. I was wondering how it was going to get that. It actually uses those kind of axles, which is pretty nice to see. And these are kind of chrome as well. I didn't realize the stud shooters themselves were actually kind of chrome. So I don't know about taking them off and kind of getting some chrome pieces or something, but I might actually just buy chrome stud shooters now because they kind of look nice, stud blasters. Otherwise, yeah, no, the stickers were easy enough to put on. I'll show you what stickers I have left. I didn't use many. I think I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those are all the ones I have left. So I'll just give you a little look at Tony Stark there. He seems to have fallen over in all the commotion. And just to look at the parts we have left, we have a few little studs there, spare studs and stuff, and yeah, that's it for bag number 1. So, bag number 2, and much like the first one of the most interesting parts is these panes of translucent blue glass, or well, plastic, but we'll call it glass because we're pretending here, aren't we? And yeah, otherwise it's just the minifigures that are really interesting. Maybe this part as well, but it's not exactly new or rare that much. We've seen it in a Spider-Man set there recently. Venomosaurus, actually, it included was it Iron Spider, and he had his claw arms attached to it. Here is the small side. It's just kind of dotted around with loads of cool little translucent pieces kind of everywhere, which I love to see. Actually, in the blue side, or in the big side, sorry, this blue piece. Otherwise, pretty normal parts. You can see these for Iron Man's arms, so they can fire, and it kind of looks like the blast that he lets off through his hands, which is pretty interesting. Otherwise, nothing too crazy. You got, of course, the helmet up there in the corner, and then the main man here. It's actually way smaller than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be small, but it is tiny. I mean, how did they get all the printing onto that little thing? It's so tiny, and it's almost more detailed than some of the other figures they've made. But anyway, that is what is in bag number 2. Let's see what it looks like made. So, at the end of bag 2, we are left with the small bit of the Hall of Armour. And pretty much everything else you see on the box that we didn't see in bag 1. And I was right about the helmet not opening up. It's one solid piece, which is a little bit of a downgrade, to be honest. Our spare pieces this time is there's 4 blue translucent studs, and I'm pretty sure that's not right. I'm pretty sure I've missed putting them somewhere. Like, I've put them all on him. They're all there, but maybe one goes under there. I don't know, but he's okay. But mainly the best thing about the spare parts is that, because look, even if we have one of these, right, instead of 4, and there's 2 on his hands that can go missing. I definitely missed it somewhere, but I'm going to go through the instructions again and find out. I don't think they should be there. There's definitely one that should be there, but anyway, the most important part on the spare pieces list is we get a spare micro figure of Iron Man, which is fantastic. It's so tiny. It's teensy. Like, you think it's small until you see it, and then you know it's small. Like, it's tiny. But yeah, this should be a pretty nice addition to the Hall of Armour that I already have. The one was released previously, which should be great. And now we'll look at the whole box complete. 2 bags. Nothing. It didn't take that long. It wasn't that difficult. It was fun. I'll tell you that. It was definitely fun. But and then here you have your spare parts for the whole bag, for the whole box. Yeah. So that's it. That's everything. So that's it for this unbagging experience and building experience. Thanks a million for watching the video, guys. Please leave a like below if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Take care.